9 a.m. Eastern, and we are doing 45 minutes of live side split stretching starting right now. We are doing this every single day at 9 a.m. to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. And I misspoke. We do this at 9 p.m. every single day. This is a special 9 a.m. time. We do 45 minutes of live side split stretching every day to practice consistency, to build a little community, and have a little bit of fun with other people while we suffer on the floor struggling with some stretches. All right. The goal being eventually, with enough consistency, with enough practice, with enough consistency, we'll make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split goals. If you care about hip mobility, if you care about getting a little bit more mobile, then this is the right place for you, because side splits don't magically happen. You build up a whole bunch of mobility first, and then hopefully one day side splits. Okay, that's enough of the spiel at the beginning. Let's get into our warm-up exercises. I think I see Che has come in and started sending a whole bunch of likes. Thank you, thank you. We're going. Let's do this. Hip cars. We're lifting that knee high as we can, opening up that hip directly to the side, trying to keep this knee high. Reach out to a wall or a table, something to help you balance if you need it. Rotate that leg so that the ankle comes up above the knee. Then bring the leg down and back. Try not to kick tables or other things behind you. Bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Pull this leg behind the standing leg, and that is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. Let's go. We're going to start with high knee. Open. Ankle up. Leg down and back. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. I think that's 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. And 10. Whew, hip cars going forward on the left side. Done. Let's go. Next, we got the right leg. Same thing. High knee. Open up that hip directly to the side. Rotate that leg so that the ankle is coming up as high as you can bring it. Bring the leg down and back. And that is 1. 2. Remember to breathe. I think that's 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Hip cars are all about using your own muscles to get to that maximum range of motion and working your butt off to get stronger where you are weak. That is 10 reps on the left side and the right side. We're going to do it now in reverse. It's the same exact movement that we're going to hit, but going in reverse is a little bit confusing. So let's talk it through. We're going to start by bringing this leg down and back, flexing the hamstrings, flexing the glutes, pulling the knee behind so that the hip flexor is feeling that stretch. We're going to lift the leg directly to the side, aim for horizontal first, and then as you get stronger, I want you to really rotate the leg so that the knee comes down, the ankle comes up, and then do the opposite. Bring the ankle all the way down, lift that knee up as high as you can, bring that knee to the front, and that is 1 rep. It's a lot of steps, I know. It's a little confusing. Stick with me, we got this. Let's go. Bring the leg back. Lift directly to the side. Add in a little rotation. Bring the ankle down. Knee forward. So back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. I think that's 5. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. If your legs are tired, you can always stop and give yourself a little bit of massage. Let's keep going. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 7, I think. Ankle up, ankle down, knee. 8. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. This is the very first part of our warm-up. We are doing a whole bunch of these hip mobility exercises to prepare for some side splits. We just finished going in reverse on that left leg. Now we got one last leg to do to go in reverse on, and we'll be done with hip cars. Let's go. Last leg. Back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Lift the leg directly to the side. Lift that ankle up. Bring the ankle all the way down. Bring the knee forward. That's one. We got 10 more. Let's go. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's two. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's four, I think. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. Five. Back. Side. We're almost done. Six. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. Seven. Ankle up, ankle down, knee. 8. 2 more. Ankle up, ankle down, knee. 9. Last one. Back. Side. Ankle up, ankle down, knee. Oh, that is 10 hip cars going forward and back, left and right. And we are done with those. I hope your hips are feeling a little bit looser, feeling a little bit smoother, and you're ready to move on into the next thing because we're done with those. Oh, finally. Okay. The next thing we're going to go into is the elephant walk. It's about your hamstrings. And I want you to focus on your belly buttons right here. I want you to fold those belly buttons down towards the ground. Try to keep the lower back relatively straight. And you're just going to hang on here for a little bit. If you're stuck a little bit higher, and that's totally okay. It's part of the process. Try your best to bring the belly button down as low as you can. And we're just chilling here for a little bit. You don't have to push super hard just yet. Just try to relax, stay calm, breathe, and push that belly button a little bit deeper. Now that we've hung out here for a couple of seconds, I want you to start adding a little bit of movement. Bend one knee, straighten the other leg. 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 Bend and bend. And bend, and bend. We want to feel the hamstrings get real tight, and then you force them to shift around and move after they're super tight. And you might feel a little bit of tingling in your calves, maybe a little tingliness in your toes. Those are all pretty normal. Nothing to be super concerned about. Just keep going. We're going to hold this and keep going for about 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We want to loosen up those hips, those hamstrings, even the glutes a little bit. And I hope that felt nice. Because we're done with those. We're going to move on. We're going to take the very similar movement. We're going to add some thoracic rotation, which is all about your spine rotating just a little bit, loosen up that back. So we're going to get back into that same position. We're folded forward, bringing the belly button down. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to reach our hand across to the other side. We're going to push against the leg to rotate the chest, to extend the arm behind us. So right now my right leg is straight. My chest is rotated to the right. My right arm is extended behind me. My eyes and my head are rotated to the right, looking at the hands. And come on down back to center. Switch it up. Left leg is straight. Right arm reaches across the body to help push. My chest is rotating to the left. Left arm is up. Neck and eyeballs are looking left to reach as far back behind me as I can. That's one. Let's do 5 more. Reach. Don't hold your breath. Remember to breathe. If you exhale as you reach the bottom of your stretch, or the deepest part of the stretch, you might be able to get a little bit more depth. I think that's 3. We're doing 6. And 4. 2 more. You can slow this down if you'd like and make it a little bit more taxing on those shoulders, on the shoulder blades. As you reach across. Last 1 and 6. All right, I hope you feel a little bit of a little workout in these shoulder muscles. a little bit in the actual shoulder blades, some nice twisting for your spine, get a little bit of movement and relaxation there, especially if you're just getting up. And this is probably one of the first things you're doing this morning. I hope your back can get a little bit of relaxation from whatever you were doing while you were sleeping. Whew. All right, that is our second stretch, our second warm-up exercise, the elephant walk plus thoracic rotation. We're going to move on into the third warm-up exercise, but before we do that, I know there are a whole bunch of you in who've never been on, I'm pretty sure. So let me tell you what we're doing. We're doing 45 minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day to practice consistency. On the weekends, I do this on 9 a.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern, so you got the option. So keep on coming back. We do this every day to practice consistency, to build a little community, because if you keep coming back, I keep coming back, I try to bring good vibes, you try to bring good vibes into the chat, we're inevitably going to be better friends. So hopefully you can take all those good vibes, all that consistency, put a lot of work in, suffer on the floor together, and we can make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split goals. If that sounds fun, hit follow, hit subscribe, do all those cool things, and I will see you sometime soon, maybe in 12 hours. All right. Third warm-up exercise is the Cossack switch. What I want you to do is open up your legs. It doesn't have to be crazy wide. We can adjust at any time, so you don't have to focus on that. We're going to point our toes out roughly 30 degrees. Again, we're going to adjust so you don't have to worry so much about that. We're going to try to drop down to one side. Make sure your knees are traveling in the same direction as your toes are pointing. So if your toes are pointing this way, your knees are also going that way. And I want you to focus on the Achilles tendon for now, right here. I want you to feel this stretch in the calf muscle in the Achilles. I want your quads to be firing for a second here as you do this deep lunge. I want you to feel some pressure in the front of that ankle, in the hip. I want you to just hang and try to squish down as low as you can go. Try to keep the heel planted on the ground. Once you've done that for a couple of seconds, let's find a comfortable position to rest in while we squish down. I'm gonna rotate my legs so it looks like we're closer to a squatting position, is closer to directly in front of me. My heel is gonna come up a little bit. My hamstrings are resting on my calves, and we're gonna try and squish down. Cool? While we squish down, let's talk about this leg. Over here, my knees are pointing up, my toes are pointing up, and my heel is down. This is called leg external rotation. The leg is rotated to the outside of my body, and we need this to get the thigh bone out of the way of the hips so that we can do the side splits. So this is a really important position, and we're doing a version of it right now. I want you to hang out here for a little bit, and in about 3 seconds, we're going to scoot our butts over to the other side and give the other leg the same treatment. All right, 2, 1, plant your hands, keep your butt low, come on over to the other side, and we're going to get into the same position that we started with before. We're trying to feel the Achilles tendon. We're trying to feel that calf stretch. We're trying to feel the pressure in the front of the ankle, in the hip. The quads are firing. They're getting really tired of you doing this to them. And we're going to find that comfortable resting position where we try to squish down one more time. If your heels come up, it is a-okay. Try to bring yourself down into that squished position. On this side, once again, toes pointing up, heels are down, knees are pointing up. From here, we're going to start doing the Cossack switches. This is all about moving from side to side, the same thing that we just did with our hands down. And the only thing I want you to keep in mind is to make sure that your knees don't hurt. If they hurt, you can adjust, you can take a break, do something a little bit different. And also, no, actually that's it. That's everything. Let's go. To do this, you got a couple of options. You can put your hands down to give yourself a bunch of support, both for balance and reducing the pressure on your legs. You can alternatively remove the arms and keep on going from side to side. You can try to stand up a little bit straighter. You can stick your arms out in front of you, and you can continue as you go from side to side. As you do these, I want you to try to keep your heels down so you have a very strong foot planted on the ground. I want you to end up in this position where your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up, and your heels are down on this side. Try to squish down, and that's it. You can do that with your hands down. You can do that with your hands up. You can do that with your back fully extended. If your knees are hurting, like I said earlier, you can try coming up to a quarter squat. Coming across first, and then settling down into that bottom position. If you are really struggling there, you can try to come up into a full squat, and then come on down. Otherwise, put your hands low and give yourself a lot of support. How many of these are we doing? I probably should have opened with that. I was aiming for 10. I feel like I've done 10, but let's just pretend we're at 5. Ready? 6, 7. Pause for a second on each side at the bottom with your toes pointing up. I think this is 8. 2 more, we're almost done. 9. Don't worry, this is the hardest part of the whole thing. Even the side splits will be less of a cardio workout than this. And I think that's 10, maybe possibly 11 because I was talking. Check out the legs, massage those hips, come back into standing, and take a quick break. We're gonna move on into our stretches. Don't worry, the stretches are way more chill and relaxed than the Cossack switches. We do the Cossack switches to make sure your blood is pumping, your body is warm, and your muscles have fired and gotten ready for some stretches. Whew. All right, the first stretch is the hamstring stretch. And I have happened to misplace all of my tools, but I'll go grab them in a second. In the meantime, we're going to do the hamstring stretch sort of from this kneeling position with our leg extended out in front. So go grab something to pad this knee. It could be a couch cushion, it could be a yoga block, it could be an old flip-flop, it could be your pet's bed. Whatever you'd like, go ahead and grab it. In the meantime, I'm gonna grab a sip of water, and you should too. While you're grabbing those things, I'm gonna come over, check the chat. Foxy Roxy says, hi, I like the double live today on YouTube. Lovely, thank you, thank you. Get Right with Koi says on TikTok, thanks for the modification. Absolutely. Let me know if there's anything else you need modification for, and I probably won't get back to the chat in time, but I will answer the question as soon as I see it. Tiffany says, I'm doing this movement, but I'm leaning over my bed for support. That is amazing. That is a great way to make it easier on yourself. If you have something stable, could be a yoga block, probably not a yoga block because it's not very stable. If you have a chair in front of you, you can use the chair for the same purpose. So that is a great way to make the Cossack switch a little bit easier on your joints and reduce the intensity that you need to apply. Get Right with Koi. I can't bend my knees like that. Absolutely. I'm going backwards in the chat. I probably should have started from further back. Marjan says, first time, I am ready. Welcome, Marjan. Thank you for being here. I will be here at the same time tomorrow if you're interested. If you enjoy the live enough, you can come back tomorrow as well. Whew. Bite-sized Blessing says, should I get out of bed first? It's 6 a.m. I don't do any jumping, so you probably won't annoy any neighbors either downstairs or upstairs. And there is very little shouting that I do. I don't know if you're gonna struggle and be in a lot of pain for the side splits and maybe you'll be screaming, but you can get out of bed and you can totally do this and won't wake up any neighbors or your kids or your spouse. I mean, I don't know about the spouse. That's, if they're in your bed, then you know. Okay, we're moving on. I'm scrolling at the bottom of the chat. And Travel Roxy says, oh, I definitely use a chair when I need some help to balance. Lovely. That is a great idea. Good morning. I'm glad I just saw this. I need some stretching. Welcome, Daniel. All right. Let's get back into the stretches. We are going to do the hamstring stretch, and it's going to look a little bit like this. The focus is the hamstring stretch. It's going to have lots of different names. You're going to find a whole bunch of variations on the internet, and every stretch will have like 10,000 names. But we're focusing on the hamstring stretch, so I'm going to call it a hamstring stretch. We're going to drop down to one knee, put some pressure on that knee. We're going to point the hips forward, the chest forward, the head forward, everything forward, including the leg that we're going to stretch. We're going to point it forward. You might notice that you're struggling a little bit with balance if you are too straight in this line. So I give you permission to get a little tiny bit wider, so it's not perfectly straightforward. It's just slightly off to the side, so you have a wider stance and better balance. From here, we're focusing on bringing the belly button down to that thigh. And this is the stretch. Ooh, we're flying. Okay, I'm gonna turn around. You don't have to move at all. I'm just giving you a different angle to see what is happening. When we are in this position, I want you to make one more adjustment. I want you to pull this leg into your hip. I don't want you to be fully extended like we're doing a front split. I want you to really focus on pulling the leg in towards your hips so that you can really focus on that hamstring without anything else interfering. All right, once you're here, we're gonna do a nice big inhale. Then we're gonna do a slow exhale, and we're gonna try to fold and bring that belly button down towards the ground. All right, let's go. Inhale, exhale. Your hamstrings are gonna tighten up. It's gonna be very unpleasant, and that is a-okay. That is the hamstring stretch. Take a couple of normal breaths. Relax as much as you can for a couple of seconds here. And we're gonna do one more inhale, exhale. Ready? Inhale. Exhale and fold. As you get deeper into that stretch, it's time. 30, 29. We're holding this for 28 more seconds. 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. Try to focus on bringing the belly button down. It's not about your chest. It's not about your head coming down. It's your belly button. Everything else can stay more or less straight up. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on out of that stretch. Oh, pull the leg in. Breathe, relax. I'm sweating super hard right now. And scoot on over. Get ready to do the other leg. Drop down to the other side. Extend the leg that you're stretching out. Remember, we're pulling the leg into the hip socket. And bring the belly button down. You might notice immediately that you have one side that is way tighter than the other, and that is pretty normal. It's bound to happen. You got, different hands that are better at things than others. It's the same for your legs and pretty much every other muscle in your body. Whew. All right, let's do the inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Your hamstrings are tight, your calves are tingly, everything is uncomfortable. That is a-okay. We're gonna take some normal breaths. We're gonna take one more inhale, exhale, and then we'll start 30 seconds. Ready? Inhale. Exhale and fold. Oh man, feel that stretch building. And 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. If your knees are feeling a little sensitive, a little achy, you can give them a slight bend. That reduces the intensity of the hamstring stretch and the pressure on the knee. But if you're going to reduce the intensity of the hamstring stretch, then I really want you to fold that belly button down and bring the chest down towards that leg to get that hamstring stretch back. I forgot what number we counted to. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, that is the hamstring stretch. We just do 30 seconds of each of these and we move right on. Get rid of that cushion. You don't need it anymore. Come back into standing. We're going to move on into stretch number 2. It is called the butterfly stretch. Just like I said earlier, there's stretches with lots of different names in different places. It's also called, I think, the tailor's pose. Come on over to a wall. We're going to use this wall to help us with this stretch. Bring your hips, your shoulder, your head to the wall, and you get to enjoy some good posture for a moment here before you bring your feet in towards your hips and get ready to open up those legs. The goal here is to stretch out the groin muscle, and the way we do that is we bring the knees down into the ground. We push them down. I want you to start by using your outer thigh muscles, your glutes, to help use your muscles to pull your knees into position. And it's going to look a little bit like this. And it might not look like anything at all because there's not that much movement happening. From here, once you've activated those muscles and you're trying to pull your legs down, we're going to take our hands, we're going to apply a little bit of pressure. And if you're against the wall, you'll feel maybe in your shoulders, in the back of your head, suddenly a whole bunch of pressure pushing into those parts of your body. That is basically the wall helping to support you and keep you from falling backwards while you're applying force from the shoulder into the leg. So the wall is helping you stay stable and helping you get into a deeper stretch. It is awesome. From here, we're ready. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, breathe, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let the hands go. If you did that right, your legs are probably really tired. They're maybe like a little stuck. You can just lift up the knees, give them a little bit of movement, and they should come back to life and be ready to move on into stretch number 3, our standing pancake. We're going to do 2 variations of this, or I'm going to talk about 2 variations of this. We're going to do one, and the pancake has 2 main ones that we care about. But before we get into that, I guess we should talk about what the pancake is all about. Our goal is to fold at the hips and bring our head in between our legs. And it looks something like that. And it's kind of crazy, and it's really, 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 really hard. So the easiest way to get into this position is to get gravity to help us as much as possible. From the side, if we are folded like this, gravity is pulling our head, our chest, our belly button, everything down towards the ground. And that folding helps us get into the pancake stretch. The pancake has an additional quality about it, and that is we want to try to open up our legs as wide as possible while we do it, so it looks more like that. Oh, that makes it really hard because we're focusing on 2 different muscles at the same time. You might have thought, oh, this looks just like the hamstring stretch. How is it different? That's how it's different. So and I recommend you do this, we start with the standing pancake. If you can't hold it, your legs are getting really tired, you're shaking, then we're going to add in an alternate variation. You can take a high seat, sit on the edge of it, make sure the chair is stable and it does not slide out from underneath you, so push it against the wall. And you can fold. Actually, I'm going to just make sure to push it against the wall before I continue. This chair is making some creaky sounds. All right, from here, if you focus on folding forward, that will help elevate your butt, reduce some of the pressure on the legs, and your muscles won't contract as hard, trying to keep you stable. If that didn't make any sense, don't worry about it for now. Get into the standing pancake. We're going to do that together. Open up your legs decently wide. It doesn't have to be crazy. I don't want any pain in the hips. If you're feeling pain already, pull your legs back in together and fold at the hips. From here, we're going to do either of 2 things. We are going to extend our arms out in front of us and have gravity pull us down, or we can grab our legs and we can pull on them and try to pull our belly button and our chest closer to our legs to help us fold. You get to decide what you want to do. Either way, you also get to decide how wide you're going to open up your legs. The wider you open that stance, the harder it's going to be, and the more intense it will be. You can take as many breaks as you want by putting your hands down, but whatever it is that you decide to do, we are getting started. If you want, you can help yourself by sticking your butt back a little bit, and that'll help you balance in this position. This is it. This is the starting position. Ready? 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, okay, come on up out of that stretch. If that was impossible for you and seemed crazy, let's talk about the seated pancake one more time. If I'm going to turn the camera slightly over this way, I'm going to use a wall instead of the chair because the chair was kind of creaky and scary. If you pretend you're sitting on a chair or make a little tripod with your feet and your butt so that you're resting a little bit of your weight against the wall, we love the wall, you can fold forward from here and start getting into that pancake position just like before. And you have the option, once again, to extend your arms out in front of you and let gravity do all the work, pulling you down into the pancake stretch. You can grab your legs. You can use your own muscles to pull yourself down into that pancake stretch. Try to keep your lower back straight, by the way. And that is a version where your legs are not forced to hold your whole entire body weight up, so it should be a little bit easier on your inner thighs. So if your legs were shaking after that first version that we did, this is the version for you, and you can stick with it for a little bit. And as you get stronger and have a little bit more experience, you can move on into the standing pancake that we were just doing. Cool? All right. That is stretch number 3, the standing pancake. And we are going to take a quick break and drink some water. I'm going to scroll through the chat real quick because it says there's 48 new messages. I have not looked at. Give me just a second. And we have some comments. Just for the weekends, he'll be back late again. Okay, yes, Josh. Thank you for asking. I'm on the weekends. I do 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. So you can come in for either one, but the 9 p.m.s will be the regular time for the rest of the week. Get Right with Koi says, I just started weight bearing 2 days ago from an Achilles surgery, so I can only do a little stretching. That is really good to know. If you can only put a little bit of weight on the Achilles and you just did Achilles surgery, there's definitely a lot of stuff that has the Achilles tendon working pretty hard, including the different types of hamstring stretches that we may or may not be doing in the next couple of minutes. So definitely take it slow. If anything feels a little too intense on your Achilles tendon, just don't do it. Take a break, relax. Well, if you just do a little bit every day, it'll build up a little bit of tolerance, but the Achilles and surgery is a lot to recover from, so we don't want to make anything worse with too much intensity right at the beginning. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down some more. T says, first time for me doing this stretching. Lovely, welcome. We do this every day, so you can keep coming back and practicing consistency. All right, I'm gonna scroll back down to the chat to what else has been here. Shrew says, you've got this, just do what you can. If you ever see my hand up here, it's because I have a light off to the side because it's dark where I am, and it's blinding my eyes, so I cover my eyes a little bit to read the chat. Okay, the hamstring stretch felt good. That was good. Lovely, lovely. Everybody's doing so well. I'm gonna keep scrolling. My hip popped open in the butterfly. It felt like a release. Okay, that sentence makes it sound like you feel like it's a good thing. So good. Keep doing that. If somebody else says my hip popped, I feel like maybe that could be good or bad, just depending on what it feels like. Popped is a big sound, but I'm glad that you felt like it was a release. Whew. Okay. I think I made it back to the bottom of the chat. I think it's time for stretch number 4. We are doing some pigeon. Actually, we did pigeon earlier today, so we're doing some figure 4. We have 2 options here, just like the seated pancake and the standing pancake, but the main difference here is they basically do the same thing. One has gravity doing all the work, and one you have to use your muscles to do it, and is a little bit easier to get into. So the figure 4 and the pancake basically look like this. We're crossing this ankle across to the other side of the body. It might look like the number 4. We're gonna reach, grab that leg, we're gonna pull it up, and we're gonna bring our chest and our belly button down towards that leg, And over here is what we are stretching. The outer glutes, the side of the butt, right here in the hips. That is the pigeon stretch or the figure four. So we got lots of options. If you already know what the pigeon stretch is, or if you already know you like the figure four, you can go ahead and get started with that. I almost hit my head on the shelf again. But for us, since we're going to focus on the figure four with our instructions, we're going to get right onto the ground and go ahead and get started. You're going to extend one leg, the leg that you're going to want to stretch, cross it over to the other side. It's going to make this upside down four. We're going to reach our hands through that triangle that we just made and around the triangle we just made to pull on this leg's knee and pull that in. And you should feel a stretch a little bit in the hamstrings and in that outer hip, that side glute. From the front, it looks like this. From the side, as soon as I can spin around, it looks a little bit like this. That's it. That's the figure four, 30 seconds. Let's go. Pull the chest or pull the knee towards your chest. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. If your knee is feeling a little bit of achiness because it's just not comfortable, you can cup the knee and help pull the whole leg in together so that the pressure is not coming from the ankle alone. It's coming from the knee and the ankle because you're pulling on both spots. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is a figure four stretch on one side. We're going to switch over, go to the other side. Extend the other leg. We're going to cross it over to the opposite side. We're going to reach our arms through, pull on that leg, and this is the starting position for that stretch. This is called the figure four, by the way. Go ahead. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28. I'm going to try to spin around while we count. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. You might notice one hip folds way better than the other. That is normal. And that probably also means you should focus on the bad hip a little bit more. It's not bad. It's just less flexible. 15, 14, 13. If your knee is feeling a little bit of sensitivity, you can cup it, give it some extra support. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oof. That is the figure four and or butterfly, depending on whatever it is that you're doing. We did the figure four live on screen, but if you prefer the pigeon, you could have replaced it with the pigeon because you prefer that. All right. With that, we are all done with all the stretches except for, the star of the show, the side splits. We have 3 rounds of side splits. We're going to hold that stretch for 30 seconds each. We're going to do a little bit of shaking and relaxing so that we can reset the muscles as much as possible before we get into the next round of 30 seconds. And then at the end, we'll do a couple of joint checks just to make sure nothing is feeling weird. And then we'll be all done. You can go on to do whatever you got to do for the rest of the day. What a great way to start the morning. All right, let's go. Ooh, side splits time. You don't need props, but I do want you to try to make yourself feel safe. So if having some extra cushions lying around, if having a chair, a table, something close by that you can grab onto when you're not feeling so stable is going to make you feel safer, then go ahead, grab those, prepare that. I want to talk about safety and props, specifically a wall to fall back on. If you have enough space to do this and you have about 4 or 5 feet of wall space, you can stand one step in front of the wall. I know I look like I'm right next to the wall. I swear there's like a foot of distance here. If you start falling backwards while we're in the side split, your butt will probably hit first, or maybe your shoulders will hit first, and everything will be totally fine. If you were to do that over here, and you start to fall backwards, your butt is going to fall a whole lot further to the ground. It's going to hurt more. It's going to be scarier emotionally, and you're going to be more stressed out. So, if you can, get close to something that's stable, solid, and preferably if you fall back, it will just catch you so you don't get hurt. Sound good? All right. That is our little safety spiel. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found something cool to lean against so you look like you're just chilling and a total badass while you have actually fallen backwards and need a little bit of help. With that, let's get into some side splits. We are opening up the legs as wide as they can go without discomfort at the hip, so no pain. If you're having discomfort already, you can come on in, bring the legs up just a little bit. We're gonna fold. Just like how we were doing the pancake stretch, we're gonna add one more thing from here. We're gonna put our hands down. We're gonna try to do something that looks a little bit like a push-up. It's not because I'm trying to make your arms stronger. It's because I want you to put some of that weight into your hands and arms so that there's less weight and less pressure on your legs. And that allows us to externally rotate the legs. We talked about this at the beginning during the Cossack switches, but external leg rotation is having the heels down, ooh, almost fell, toes pointing up and the knees pointing up. This rotates the thigh bone so it does not smash into anything unnecessarily in your hips. And that makes it possible for you to get much, 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 much deeper into your side split. So once you've done that, externally rotated your legs, I want you to try to walk your hands back towards your hips and get as much pressure in those hips as you can withstand. And chill here for a second. Then we're gonna do a little wiggle from side to side, see if maybe it's just your sticky feet, your sweaty floors, or I guess you're the sweaty one, and your floors sticking together, keeping you from getting into a deeper side split. So do a little wiggle, break that friction, and once you cannot get any deeper, it's time for our first split. 30 seconds, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. Try to keep these knees nice and straight. Try not to bend them. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we are done. Walk your hands forward, pull yourself out of that split, bring your legs in together, and come into a kneeling position. Take a break, chill out, relax. Breathe. Grab a sip of water if you want, and we're going to undo some of this tension that we just put into our legs, this tension that's keeping us stuck on the floor right now. We're going to try our best to relax. How do we relax on purpose? Well, let me show you. We are going to shake out our legs and our arms, and I want you to imagine that you just got out of the pool or came out of the water at the beach, and your legs are a little wet. You're trying to shake off that water. You're just going shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. As you get better at this, your legs will be able to shake and flop a little bit more. I don't know if the word is graceful, but a little bit more effectively, perhaps. And when you're able to do this, when you're flopping around, those muscles just cannot be tight. If they were tight, then you would look more like a robot. So experiment. We can start with the shaking, the flicking of water off the legs, and then as you get better, you can flick, 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 wobble, 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 shake, 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 shake. And we're aiming for somewhere between 5 and 10 seconds on each side for now. As you get better at these, your muscles will learn to relax a little bit faster, and that will let you get back to stretching a little bit faster too. Okay, shake out those legs, shake, 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 shake. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And when you are feeling like your legs are a little bit more relaxed, play a little bit of hacky sack. Just move around, wiggle, do a dance. You want those muscles to relax as much as they can before we get into the second side split. I hope you're ready because it's time. There's nothing else. It's time for the second side split. Let's go. Take one step in front of whatever you're going to fall back on for that little bit of safety, whether it's the table of looking coolness, the wall of stability, or I don't know, the couch of softness. Let's go. Open up those legs decently wide. Fold at the hips. Put your hands down like you're going to do a push-up. We're just putting weight into our arms, taking it out of our legs so that we can externally rotate the legs, which means our heels are down, our toes are up, our knees are pointing up on both sides. Then take a moment, see if you can get deeper into the split from there. Walk your hands back towards your hips. Breathe. That's a lot of extra pressure in your hips. Now we're going to add a little bit of a wiggle from side to side. See if we can break that last little bit of sticky feet friction. Once you're ready, once you're as deep as you can get, it's time. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We are done with that second rep. Walk your hands forward, pull your legs in slowly, and take a break. Sip some water, relax, chill, do whatever you got to do. And once your hips are feeling a little less intense, come on up into standing. We're going to shake it out one more time. Let's go. Shake, 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 flick, 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 wiggle, 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 and pick up the intensity a little bit. Let those legs relax. 5 to 10 seconds per leg is enough to get us started. If you are just joining in and you're wondering, what is this guy doing with his legs? We do 45 minutes of live side split stretching every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, because I try to bring good vibes. If you bring good vibes back and send it into the chat, hang out, have good vibes, then it makes it a lot easier for us to all suffer and stretch on the floor together. And hopefully that consistency and the community together helps us all make a whole bunch more progress towards our side split goals. So if that sounds fun, hit follow, hit subscribe, do all those cool things. Keep coming back, and we're going to keep practicing together. And if I guess I didn't answer why we're shaking out the legs. We're shaking out the legs to forcefully get our muscles to relax so that we're ready and prepared for side split number 3. Let's go. We're taking one step in front of whatever thing you're going to fall back on. If you start falling backwards, you're probably not going to, but it's good to have something to keep you safe. We're going to open up the legs decently wide. You shouldn't have any pain in the hips. We're going to fold forward, put our hands down, lean forward into that, and try something that looks a little bit like a push-up just to make sure there's weight in our arms and we're reducing the weight in our legs so that it's easier to externally rotate them, which means your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knee is pointing up on both legs. From here, we have moved our thigh bones out of the way of smashing into our hip bones, at least in one angle, and it should be a little easier to slip into a side split. Go ahead and take a second and do that. Then walk your hands towards your hips, put all the weight that we sent to the front, put into our hands, and put it right back into our hips. We're gonna do one last wiggle from side to side to see if it's just friction holding our feet from sliding out a little bit further. And once you're as deep as you can get, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29. This is the last one. 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Walk your hands forward. Pull your body out of that stretch. Bring your legs in. Oh, come into this kneeling position. Chill for a second. And catch your breath. When your hips stop freaking out and going crazy, you can try to come back to standing. We're going to shake it out one last time. This time, make it count. Get your body's muscles all relaxed so that when you go back to whatever you got to do for the rest of the day, because you have a long day ahead of you, your body's going to be working well. All right? Shake, 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 shake. We're going to start by doing the little flicks, like we're shaking off water after getting out of the pool. And then as you get a little bit more familiar with this, I want you to relax that leg while you're, I guess, using the muscles. So kind of counterintuitive, but I want you to flop, wiggle, shake, relax those muscles. Flick, 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 shake, 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 wobble, 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 wobble. Get those legs to relax. And once you've done about 10 seconds on each side, we are pretty much done. We're going to do one last thing that we haven't done yet today, and that is a little bit of hip rotation right here. So I'm going to ask you to get into this mini squat position. Then we're going to take this knee and focus on rotating it in and out. All that's moving is the bone in the hip socket. Your knee itself is not moving. It's going to look like it's moving, but it's basically staying in the same position. You're just turning at the hip. All right? So we're going to point that knee out. We're going to point the knee in, point the knee out, point the knee in. Try to keep your hips from moving. So all that's happening is this bone right here is turning from side to side. We're just doing a couple of those. 3 or 4 is fine. Same thing on the other side. The knee is not bending any more or less than before. It's holding this position. All of the movement is coming from the leg bone at the hip, in the hip socket. Okay? Okay, that was like 3 reps. That's it. We just needed to do a little bit of movement to loosen them up. All these muscles were really firing when we're getting in the side splits. And now that we're out, we want them relaxed. If you want, you can try and play some imaginary hacky sack. You can just kick those legs around, do some can-can. I don't actually know if this is called the can-can. Anyways, once you've moved those legs, you've relaxed those muscles, you've done a little bit of movement, we're going to do one last round of joint checks, just to make sure everything is feeling good before you walk off and go do other stuff. The first thing we're going to do is a couple of hip circles. There's a whole bunch of different hip muscles that we have stretched today, that we've worked out today, that contracted and try to keep us from getting to side splits. So make sure they're working fine now that we're out of them and we've tortured them a little bit with some hip circles. If everything's feeling good, just do a couple of high knees, double check those hip flexors. Whew. Then we're going to pop into a little bit of a squat, fold at the hips, put some pressure in the knees, put some pressure in the ankles, put some pressure into the feet and toes. Try and do a little bit of a calf raise, come back down, one more. If everything is feeling good, feeling normal for you, then we are all wrapped up. It's time to go do other things. Enjoy your Saturday morning. All right, with that, I'm coming back over to the chat, wrapping up for today, and happy to answer any questions in the live. I have not looked at the chat in a little bit, so I am going to scroll to the top. But I saw Tiffany just message saying that this was everything I needed this morning. Thank you, Tiffany. That's very lovely. Daniel says, thank you so much. Have a great day, all. C. Johnson says, thank you. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you so much for coming in. We have another live session in about 11 hours. And yes, oh, there we go. That's the exact question I need to answer. Will you still be live at 9 p.m. today? Yes, I'll be live again in about 11 hours. So come on back if you would like. And we're going to do basically the same exercises with whatever new thing I want to highlight, plus the pigeon, because we did the figure 4 today. Cool? Che says, see you all later. User 435-287-542-11943 says, thank you. Thank you for asking the question with perfect timing. C. Johnson says, I will be there. Arensicle says, appreciate you. That was great. Lovely. Okay. Awesome. I'm glad you guys had fun. I hope you feel good. I hope your hips are all warmed up and you go back through the rest of your day today feeling awesome because you got a great start to the day. And I hope to see you in a couple hours. If you are just joining and you haven't left yet and you're not sure quite what's happening, he's just saying goodbye. That's weird. We're doing 45 minutes, or we finished 45-ish minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every day to practice consistency, build a little community, hang out, make it a little bit more fun to suffer on the floor while we stretch. And hopefully with that consistency, with that community, it's gonna let us make a whole bunch more progress towards our side split goals. So if that sounds fun, if that sounds like something you want, maybe some hip mobility to play with your pets or your kids or your grandkids, then you are in the right place. Keep coming back. Hit follow, hit subscribe, get notified, and I will see you in 11 hours, or I guess 23 hours, because we do this every day at 9 p.m. Eastern, and on the weekends we do this at 9 a.m. Eastern as well. Whew, okay, big spiel. I am going to go scroll up through the chat to see if I missed anything. If there were questions that were asked that I didn't answer because I didn't see it yet, I'm going to go answer those. If not, then we will wrap up right here. I'm scrolling. C. Johnson says, sounds good, but what is he saying sounds good to? Scrolling. Ooh. Ken says, can you recap? Crabs Bucket 32. I am pretty sure I probably needed to recap the standing pancake. If you're still on, if other people had questions about the standing pancake, I'm going to try that again because I know it was my first time trying to introduce the standing pancake and then I got all flustered trying to mix two things together. So let's talk the pancake one more time. The goal of the pancake is to do two things. It's to open up your legs decently wide and also to fold at the hips so that your head comes in between your legs. We want to have that happen so that your hips and your low back are relatively straight as you come down and not be super curved and bent like this. So it's really hard. I like to do the standing pancake because gravity does a lot of work here to help pull you down. All right. And the more gravity helps, the less work you need to do and the more effective the stretch can be. However, in the standing pancake, there is one major con that is possibly a pro. We, as people who are trying to stretch, we want to get stronger in these positions as we stretch, right? So we don't want to just be able to get here. We want to be here and be strong. So when you are in this position, you're in the standing pancake, you're folded forward. If you can hold and maintain, then this is great. This is a great place to be because you're strengthening your muscles because they're contracting to keep you floating up here, right? They're keeping you not collapsed onto the ground in a little puddle. So this is great. But what happens if you're not quite strong enough to hold this position? You're shaking, you're like struggling, and you can't focus on the stretch. You got a couple of options. You can put your hands down to reduce some of the weight on your legs. You can alternatively do a seated pancake. And in the seated pancake, if you have a really sturdy chair pushed all the way against the wall, you can open up those legs and you can fold forward, and because the chair is supporting your butt a little bit, there's less pressure in the legs and you can still get that pancake stretch going. The pro is you don't need as much strength and it's a little easier to get into. The con is you're not spending the same time getting a little bit stronger. So there is the trade-off. And if you were here for the live part where I did this, I followed up with doing a version where I used putting my butt against the wall to substitute for a chair. This works the exact same way. You're basically making a tripod. Your legs are two legs, and your butt is the third leg of the tripod. And I'm trying not to smash my head into this table because I'm so close. But you can get into that standing pancake with a little bit of butt support, just the same as in the seated pancake over there. So you don't really need a chair. You can do it with the wall. That, I think, is the recap that I wish I was able to say as fluently when we were doing it live the first time. Whew, I hope that helps. And I think with that question, I am all the way back to stuff I've already covered. So I'm going to scroll all the way back down and see if there's anything left. Whew. Travel Darcy says, this was awesome. Thank you. C. Johnson says, oh, sent the rose. Sent you 11 roses. Oh, amazing. Kellen Rose says, good morning. Good morning, Kellen. We just wrapped up about an hour of live side split stretching, and we do this every single day. But this time at 9 a.m. right now, or I guess it's 1 hour after that because we ran for an hour, 10 a.m. is pretty much done. But we have another show in the 11 hours where we do 45 minutes of live side split stretching. So if that sounds cool, hit follow, hit subscribe, come back in 11 hours. If that's not a good time for you, in 23 hours, so tomorrow at 9, I'll be doing another live, and you can feel free to join in then. We do a lot of stretching. I try to make the content super beginner friendly, so you don't have to have any background knowledge or experience. You can just come right in and copy me. I try to point out all the important things so you don't have to feel any pressure. And yeah, that's what we do. So if that sounds fun, come back in 11 or 23 hours, and I'll see you soon. Okay, I think with that, we are officially done here and wrapped up. I'm checking the chat over here on YouTube just to see if there's anything else I need to address. No, there are still 9 people on YouTube, but not many comments today. If you guys are feeling a little bit shy, don't worry, I get it. None of the comments are saved in perpetuity. It's just us on the live who sees it. So if that is a concern and why you're not engaging, maybe that is the little bit of information you needed. Otherwise, it is very lovely to meet you all, and I hope you had fun and felt like that was a really good stretch. If you had fun, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, and I'll see you tomorrow or soon. Bye.